Hello, friends. Welcome to another video here today. I wanted to answer a question I got on Instagram. This person was asking, Lissa, do you eat when you're hungry, even if it's late? And do you force yourself to eat if you're not hungry? Great question. Let's dive into that in this video. Thank you for joining me again today here on my YouTube channel. Before we begin, there are some amazing Black Friday sales going on right now that I quickly want to run through. We've got the plant-based bundle that launched today. It's running until December 2nd. $50 gets you $867 worth of our content. There's 16 of our contributions in this bundle, including the wrap book, the taco book, the party food book, Nate's microgreens course, my Checkmate Your Cravings course, our live lunch video course. There's 35 hours of video content in there. There's so many things. Holiday menu 1, 2, and the brand new holiday menu 3, where we make the pinwheels and the holiday wreath. There's some new recipes in there for the holidays, so that's available to you as well. And you're not only getting our contributions, you're also getting all kinds of stuff from other people as well. The total bundle value is over $3,700 and you only pay $50. This is our Black Friday big sale for you. So hopefully you can enjoy that. Click the link in the description box below. If you didn't want to get the bundle and you still wanted to grab some of our ebooks, especially the new holiday menu volume 3 with 8 recipes and time-stamped how-to, those are all 60% off. We only run the 60% off during the holidays. So this is your chance to collect any of the other books that you might be missing from the collection. 60% off code is BFF2024. So use that code at checkout to get 60% off. And in the description box below, we also have a link for all the other Black Friday sales. So Excalibur dehydrators, Osea Malibu vegan skincare, the seeds all for sprouting and microgreens, they're all on sale too. So head on down there if you're interested in any of those sales for this Black Friday sale going on. So let's chat a little bit about this question. They said, Lissa, do you eat when you're hungry, even if it's late? And do you force yourself to eat even if you aren't hungry? Like I said, this is a great question because a lot of people want to intuitively eat. And I personally don't feel that we can effectively, intuitively eat until we learn how to eat and how our body works. Because if we don't feel like eating, we skip meals. And then later on down the road, we get really hungry because we didn't top up our gas tank. So I like to look at eating more often and eating when I'm not necessarily hungry as topping up your gas tank. So say you're on a road trip and you stop in a little town and you have half a gas tank full of gas. Do you fill up with gas there? Or do you risk it and you keep going, hoping that you'll have enough gas to get to the next gas station? Most people keep going. They don't think, oh, let's just top up with gas just in case. You never know how long it might be until you get to the next gas station. And we don't want to be running on empty. So filling up even when we aren't hungry is what I personally feel is the best way to go about it, especially when you're on raw foods, because raw foods are so low in calorie density that we go through them quite quickly. They're easy to digest, and we can feel hungry faster than if we eat denser foods. So eating more often when we aren't necessarily hungry can help keep our gas tank full so we don't get to that point where we're starving and ravenous and hangry and irritable and we just need to get anything in. And this is a great way to help deal with that. There are levels of hunger as well. Obviously, when you've just eaten a huge, gigantic salad and you're full, you're not going to force yourself to eat more at that point. You're full up and you don't need any more fuel. Your gas tank is full, so to speak. Your stomach is full. Don't need to force any more food in there. But we also have to be mindful of in between meals, we might not feel hungry and we don't always have to wait until we are hungry to fuel up. There have been many times where I'm just in the flow and I'm working, lunch comes around and I'm like, I'm not that hungry. I stop myself and I say, even though I'm not hungry, I'm still going to fuel up because in a few hours, I'm going to be starving because I'm at half a tank. So I get up, I go, I make my lunch and I eat it. And even though I wasn't feeling hungry, I still was able to eat an entire salad, huge salad at that, and feel awesome because I wasn't forcing myself, but I was also recognizing the fact that I don't need to feel starving or hungry in order to eat, to keep my gas tank filled up instead of waiting for it to get empty. I really try hard not to let myself get to that point of starving because I know at that point it's a lot harder to have the energy to go and make something or to really focus on what I want to make. I know that in the beginning, cravings were really strong for past habitual choices when I would get to the point of hunger. So I learned that keeping my gas tank up really helped with cravings. So if you have issues with cravings or you're struggling with something like that, try to eat more often. And remember that you're not forcing yourself to eat if you aren't hungry, if your like gas tank is half full. It's not forcing to eat. It's being mindful of your body's needs and keeping that energy steady throughout the day. A great way of comparing this would be water and thirst. So when we are thirsty, that is a sign that we are on the borderline of dehydration and we really need water. So when we get to that point, we know, oh, wow, I really haven't had enough water, so I need to drink water. But we don't want to let ourselves get to that point where we are parched and super thirsty to remind us to have water. We should be, having that water throughout the day to keep our hydration levels up. We don't need to wait until we get thirsty to do that. And the same thing happens with hunger. Hunger is the signal like your body really needs some fuel and you should listen to it, honor your body's hunger levels and have that food. And that answers the first part of the question is, do I eat anytime if I'm hungry? Yes, I do. If it's right before bed, there's a lot of people who will say, nope, I can't eat right before bed because of this or that reason. I don't do that. I feed my body. So if I'm hungry at night, I eat. I make something. I'll have a smoothie. I'll have some fruit. I'll make a little mini salad or something like that. Even if we're getting ready to go to bed, I will still eat if my body asks for fuel. And it usually doesn't because I do take the time to make sure I get enough calories throughout the day. But if I've been really active, we've been going on lots of hikes, typically I do sometimes get a little hungry in the evening and I like to have a little something extra maybe after dinner. So at that point, I let my body have the fuel. Of course, it's healthy fuel. I'm not snacking. I'm also not getting up in the middle of the night with hunger because I do honor my cravings for fuel throughout the day. And when I say cravings for fuel, I crave proper fuel like fruit and salads and smoothies and things like that. But a lot of people get cravings and hunger mixed up. They think that a craving is somehow bad because if they're craving donuts or pizza, they're not realizing that the body actually just needs fuel. And the craving is a symptom of that. And we typically crave what we habitually choose when we're hungry. So if you're hungry and you typically default to pizza or takeout or whatever it is, when you switch over to a different diet, when you do feel those hunger feelings, we default to what we usually always crave. So I now crave fruits and vegetables and salads and things like that because that's my habitual choice when I feel hunger. And I definitely try to find balance between intuition and necessity. So many people, if they're skipping breakfast habitually, consistently, they get up, they run to work, they might skip their breakfast, their body adapts to that and they tend to not be hungry in the morning. But this doesn't mean that your body doesn't want fuel. It just means it's adapted to the fact that you're not eating in the morning. And many people I've noticed quite often, this happens so often, is that when people start to eat in the morning, even though they don't feel hungry, their hunger level and appetite returns after a few days to a week of consistently having these morning meals. They're like, wow, I actually feel like eating in the morning now after they've tried to help their body realize that, yes, food's coming in the morning. So you do feel that hunger in the morning because your body's like, oh, I can ask for food now and I know I'll get it. So there is a fine balance between intuition and actually knowing what our bodies need. So make sure that you know what your body needs and listen to the intuition when it comes to like what you might be feeling. Like if you're craving something sweet, default to fruit. If you're craving something salty, default to veggies or a salad or something raw like that. And this will really help with the intuition part of what you might be wanting. And also, your intuition speaks when you are drawn to specific foods. Like, for example, maybe it's mango season and you're really drawn to mangoes. That's your intuition saying, I'd like to have more mangoes. So, really find a balance between knowing what your body needs and listening to intuition in a different way. Not just because if you're not feeling hungry, don't eat, because your body probably would love to have a little bit of extra fuel. So remember, it's not forcing yourself if you are filling up your gas tank. I think of it as proactive gas tank fill up and making sure I eat when meal times are there, regardless if I'm hungry or not. I know that when I do eat, my body is like, oh, thanks. Now we have enough fuel to get through the rest of the day, and cravings dip dramatically and mood is stabilized, energy is stabilized when we take that time to fuel up, even though we might not feel like it. So hope this answers that question and hope maybe it helps somebody else out there. Don't forget to go grab the plant-based bundle. It's running right now from November 23rd to December 2nd. It's only $50. You're getting over $3,700 worth of content, including $867 worth of our content. We contributed 16 different things to this bundle. This is the biggest sale of the year. And if you didn't want to get the bundle, you can also get 60% off any of our ebooks. The code is BFF2024. Links to all the goodies are in the description box below. And we'll be back tomorrow for another video. We're going to be talking about raw in the winter, one of my favorite topics. So I'll see you tomorrow for our next video. Much love and fruit on.